The reason why we're here is because we've got more work to do. Our work is not yet done.
Today's the day. After months of sweat, even some tears, Americans head to the polls to cast their ballots.
And the polls open in just 30 minutes throughout the Silver State. We're going to tell you those last-minute details before you head out this morning.
You really want your candidate to win, right? But what if he doesn't? Well, one airline is offering you a way to rectify the situation. We'll have full details on this election day, Tuesday, November 6th, 2012.
You're watching News 4 Today in high definition.
And a good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to the final half hour of News 4 Today on this election day. I'm Bill Frankmore.
And I'm Melissa Carlson. What the heck am I doing here? Trying to help out a little bit for this election day, because no doubt it's going to be pretty crazy as things start to kick into full gear.
And you're going to be here tomorrow, too, helping me read some names.
I'm going to try to do my best.
Yes, you are a good American in the spirit of election day.
Thank
Get
you.
out the vote. We are all trying to get you to do that. This is an historic election. More money spent on this election than any election in history. We've been talking about this, too, of how long it has dragged on, though, and Americans are just kind of, it seems they are done with it right now.
Yeah, you know, it's the phone calls, right? It's the signs. It's all the ads that we're hearing all the time. Every commercial, it's the same ad. So people are just kind of tired of it. But, you know, again, you have to look at this in perspective. People are saying this is historic because it's never been this close.
Yeah. This is one of those that is bringing back the memories of the 2000 election with George Bush and Al Gore, where Al Gore actually won the popular vote. George Bush won the electoral college vote and became our President of the United States.
And they're talking a lot about that right now, right? We're hearing a lot about electoral and popular. And remember back then, the pregnant chads and the hanging chads.
Catherine Harris, Secretary of State, Florida.
Somebody had a crush on her
back in 2000. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was a crazy time right there. It was weeks before we actually had a president-elect after that election. Hopefully the same thing doesn't happen now, but it is definitely close. 30 million Americans have already voted. The rest get the chance to vote today. After 2 years and $2 billion spent to get your vote, polls open up across the nation this morning.
Tracy Potts has more from Cincinnati, Ohio, the battleground state that could be critical in deciding who's going to be the next president.
Voters, don't run away.
For the first time ever, and with its lowest turnout in almost 50 years, a tie this morning in tiny Dixville Notch. Just after midnight, they cast 5 votes for President Obama, 5 for Governor Romney. A few hours south in Manchester, the governor ends his campaign.
These last months of our campaign have seen the gathering of strength of a real movement across this country. It's evident in the size of these crowds like this tonight, my goodness. And I understand that there are a few thousand people outdoors that couldn't get in, too.
After voting near Boston this morning, the governor hits the road again, thanking campaign workers in Pennsylvania and Ohio, 2 key states he hopes to win. President Obama wakes up this morning back home in Chicago. He plans to continue an Election Day tradition, a game of basketball before watching results tonight. Last night, his final campaign rally ever in Iowa, where he first won 4 years ago.
As long as there's a child anywhere in Des Moines, anywhere in Iowa, anywhere in this country, languishing in poverty, barred from opportunity, our work isn't done. Our fight for change goes on.
The president promised a better tomorrow if elected. That tomorrow may or may not begin today. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Cincinnati.
And continuing with your election coverage this morning on this election day, Nevada enters election day in a familiar position, a high-stakes battleground state and national bellwether for the presidential race.
News 4's Dina Kupfer is tracking our election day coverage, has been doing it all morning long. We'll continue throughout the afternoon. Got a busy day on tap, Dina.
Absolutely. Good morning, Bill and Melissa. Yes, the polls open up throughout the Silver State at 7 o'clock this morning and close tonight at 7 p.m. Of course, about 46% of voters in Washoe County already voted during early elections, so I wanted to know why people wait until today. Why wait until the actual day of Election Day when you know the lines are going to be a little longer? And I asked this question on my Twitter page this morning, and I got a response from Condell Williams, who says that it's nice, the experience of waiting with others to vote and to do your civic duty for your country. on Election Day. And so if you have an opinion and you want to weigh in, just tweet me at Dina Kupfer. And joining us this morning, we have Luann Cutler with the Registrar of Voters Office. Luann, thank you so much for joining us. A busy day on tap. You've already had a busy last couple of weeks, I can imagine. 90 polls open today. Over 500 people are going to be working. Pretty insane, right?
Pretty crazy. You're absolutely right. It has been a very long period of preparation, and we have been extremely busy over the last couple of weeks with early voting, but we're excited. The day is finally here. The poll workers are in the last stages of getting set up to open at 7 o'clock this morning, and I think we're all ready to go.
Now, we've heard, obviously, that these polls are showing Mitt Romney and President Obama, one of the most hotly contested races this year, is pretty close, this race. And so today, getting those votes back later today, are you expecting a pretty long night and heading into the morning?
Well, usually on an election of this magnitude, it is a little later as far as the poll workers getting back to us with their results cartridges. But in actuality, we're hoping to be done by 11 o'clock or so tonight, but that's just a hope. There's no way to predict that.
Okay, now so far, have you guys had any problems, in early voting or heading into today at least?
No major problems. The usual hiccups here and there that we were able to take care of quite quickly. We're not foreseeing any problems, and we're just hoping that everybody shows up to vote that hasn't already.
All right, Luann, thank you so much. Good luck to you today. Of course, it's going to be a busy day for you and your staff. Thank you.
It will. Thank you, Dina.
And also, if you do head out to the polls today, remember, schools are closed today because 61% of those polling locations are actually housed in Washoe County School District areas. And so if you head out, bring your sample ballot with you if you have it. The polling location that you'll have to go to, your assigned precinct, is going to be listed on the back of that sample ballot. And if you've misplaced it, you can still head to the Registrar of Voters Office for all of those details. Also, mynews4.com for any more information you need. We'll be live throughout the morning and bring you very much more from the polling locations throughout the day, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, just 24 minutes until those polls here in Northern Nevada open up. What a busy day it is going to be.
And we're going to have a quick look at the forecast, too. Nice weather if you're headed out to those polling locations today. Not
you guys
too
already
bad.
voted yet?
I have voted Dunzo, and early voting, thank goodness.
Yes, you did a good thing. I'm kind of like Bill. I like the tradition of being able to vote on voting day, even though there might be a long line and I might have to get off work a little bit later today. I still like being able to cast my vote on the actual day.
We've used technology. We've used all these conveniences in our life to make things easier, and then sometimes this thing only comes around, presidential election, every 4 years. You can stand in line 10 minutes longer.
Hey, you don't have two kids under the age of 4.
I do have 2 kids, one of whom is Jack.
Well,
so.
This is true. This is true. Enough said, but still, multitasking, get your groceries done, do the postal work, and voting all at the same time. That's the way I'm going to do it. That's the way I do it.
I have a feeling once I start to have kids with my husband in a couple of years, I'm going to be on the same track as you.
Yeah,
she
you
walks
never
uphill
know.
in the snow 2 feet with her kids on her back, too.
That's right. Hey, I'm a mom. All moms do that, right?
Let's get to your weather forecast now. We'll show you how things are shaping up throughout the rest of your day. Clear skies outside right now, I-80 and I-580 north. We could actually have some wind advisories, watches in effect by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday due to some pretty gusty conditions, primarily on Thursday. Ridge gusts in the Sierra expected to be up to about 100 miles per hour on Thursday, down to about 55 miles per hour on your valley floors. Mid to upper 20s in the Sierra this morning, and those 20s do extend east along I-80. And you're looking at your satellite radar this morning. High pressure is keeping us high and dry with above average daytime highs today in the upper 70s. So it does look like 77 is going to have a very good chance of breaking that record of 75 set back at 1991. And then by the time we get to Saturday and Sunday, don't be fooled by this 80-degree weather, because this purple you see on the screen here, this is going to be a winter weather advisory. Starts early Thursday in effect until late on Friday, dropping your temperatures down on Saturday and Sunday to 30s for your daytime highs around the valley. We're looking at single digits, even 0-degree temperatures, overnight lows in the Sierra, so a hard freeze. If you have not winterized your sprinklers yet, make sure you get out there and do that. So 14 degrees above yesterday. One more day of very comfortable weather today with light wind and a lot of sunshine. Could be one of the last warmer days we'll actually experience for a while. Wind to about 10 miles per hour this afternoon and evening, and then that big cool down starts to come Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Coldest day of the week, coldest air so far this year, as we're looking at teens into your Sunday morning. And then more comfortable weather does return Monday and Tuesday of next week, but another storm could also be on the way.
All righty, thank you so much, Jen. Well, let's take a look at your roadways on this Election Day morning, see how traffic is holding up. We have Trooper Barbara Stapleton on the phone. Good morning to you, Barb.
Good morning, Bill. Currently, we are incident and accident-free on all area highways, so please don't forget to buckle up. Give yourself a little extra time, limit those distractions so that you can get to your intended destination, wherever that may be, safely. Thanks, Bill, and back to you.
Heading higher in light of trading with polls opening up on the East Coast. We're going to be checking in with John Sanchez coming up in just a couple of minutes. The markets have kind of been waiting for Election Day, and now we are seeing that. I can tell you right now that the market is up just a bit. We do have John Sanchez right now.
Sounds like
yes? All righty. Good morning to you, John. How are we looking?
Hey. Good morning, Bill. Thank you so much. Happy Election Day to you. Market's in a good mood this morning. Been very strong in the pre-market session, and we're continuing that now that the opening bell is rung. We're up 74 points on the Dow at 13,186. Nasdaq gaining 6 points at 3,005, and a 6-point gain on the S&P 500 at 1,423. Yesterday, we finished with a modest gain of 19 points on the Dow Jones Industrial Average at 13,112. We have no economic reports on the calendar. Here's some stocks that are making some moves this morning. We'll start off with CVS Caremark, higher by 41 cents to 47.04. They earned 85 cents in the quarter. That was 1 cent above Wall Street's estimates. AOL had a good quarter. Stocks rising 8.13%, a $2.91 increase to 38.17. They reported higher than expected third quarter revenue on improved ad sales. And finally, Zillow having some problems this morning, down 18.33%, a $6.34 loss to 28.03. The earnings came in, or I should say revenue came in line, but the website operator gave fourth quarter revenue guidance that was below Wall Street's estimates. So that, of course, is what the investors are focusing on this morning. Bill, the Dow's up 73, the Nasdaq gaining 5, the S&P higher by 6. Back to you in the studio. Have a great day.
All right, thank you. You do the same, John. Appreciate it.
Well, what would you do if your candidate didn't win? One airline says, hey, we'll give you a one-way ticket out of here. That's coming up next.
And here's a look, speaking of a ticket out of here, flight delays across the region. We're all clear on your Tuesday morning. Your full forecast next.